Today I'll be showing you in detail how I sewed this cargo pants. I'll suggest you stick around to the end so you don't miss out on anything. In my last video, I showed a simple way to cut it. You can go check it out if you haven't already. The first thing I did was to hem all the edges of all of my pocket pieces. I'm sewing closer to the inside. For the opening of the pockets, I stitched along the inside and then along the edge, giving about 3/8 of an inch space between both lines. I repeated the same process with the side pockets. For the side pocket covers, I folded it inside out and sewed along my seam allowance, leaving just enough room to flip it. I cut out the excess fabric, flipped it right sides out, and sewed double lines along the edges, leaving out the part that will be sewn to the trousers, and then I set the pocket pieces aside. For the zipper fly, I cut out 2 pieces of fabric about 1.5 inches wide and matching the length of my zip. First, I attached the curved piece to the left part of the front trouser piece, right sides facing each other. Then I opened it up and top stitched. I folded it to the inside, placed the zip on it and sewed together along the curved edge. Next, I folded in my sewing allowance on the second part of the trouser piece and sewed it down to the second side of the zip. This is what it's looking like so far. Then I took the second part of the zipper fly and attached to the right part of the zip I just sewed. Now I joined the crotch area to the point where the zipper fly ends. Here I'm just arranging everything so I could sew the fly in place. Next, I'll mark about 1 inch on the left part and sew it down. And that's it for the zipper fly. The next thing I did was to sew down the 1 inch that I added to the back pieces. Then I joined the back pieces together. Trimmed 1 layer of the excess fabric, as you can see. Then I folded the remaining layer and sewed it down neatly. And this is what it's looking like on the outside. I placed the front and back pieces right sides facing each other and sewed just the left and right sides together. Then I trimmed the fabric from only the back layers like you see me doing. I folded it down and sewed just like I did with the center back. To attach the front pockets, I placed the side to rest on the side seam lines of the trousers, pinned it down, arranging as I sewed and making sure everything lays nice and flat. After that, I marked 3.5 inches down from my front pocket and placed my side pocket covers, making sure it's centralized on my side seam line before pinning in place. Then for the pockets, I went down 1.5 inches from the covers and pinned them in place. Again, making sure it's centralized on my side seam before sewing them down. For the inside of the trousers, I sewed them together from the outside first. Trimmed the excess fabric, flipped it to the inside, then sewed it down again. Now that all that is done, I folded in my bottom hem according to the allowance I left and stitched it down neatly. To give the waist a nice finish, I folded in 1/2 inch of the waistband and sewed it down. Then attached the side that wasn't sewn to the waist of the trousers, right sides facing each other. Now I folded the waistband inside out unevenly, making sure there's about 0.2 inch extra, as you can see, and then sewed down the allowance at the tip, trimmed the excess and flipped it right sides out. Tucking in the zip layers to the front to avoid a bulky appearance. Now, I just top stitched using the stitch in the ditch method, and this is what it looks like. For the belt hole, I cut a long strip of fabric 1.2 inch wide, folded both edges in and sewed it down. I cut out 6 belt loops 3.5 inches long. For the ones on the side, I made sure to avoid the side seam so it isn't difficult to sew. I first sewed them in place the way I pinned them, then bent them down and sewed again. Then I folded the bottom part in about ½ inch, pushed it up to meet the joining of the waistband before sewing it down. And that's it. As usual, please give this video a thumbs up, share, drop your comments or questions, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And for my returning subscribers, thanks for your support.